In a powerful display of unity, resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice, civil society groups from across South Africa came together this past weekend to march in solidarity with one man, Mkhwanazi. The streets were filled with voices chanting in defiance, placards held high against the grey winter sky, and the unmistakable sound of a people demanding to be heard. Simphiwe Makhanya was on the ground, and what he witnessed was nothing short of historic. From the early hours of the morning, the atmosphere in central Johannesburg was electric. You could feel it in the air, something significant was about to unfold. Activists, trade union members, students, clergy, elders, and even schoolchildren gathered at designated points, slowly converging in a massive wave of humanity that moved as one. This wasn't just a march. It was a statement. A declaration that civil society was alive, alert, and no longer willing to remain silent. At the heart of it all was Mkhwanazi, a man who has become both a symbol of resistance and a lightning rod for controversy. His recent run-in with state structures has sparked outrage among many who see his treatment not only as unjust but as a symptom of a much deeper rot. While the official line from the authorities paints a complicated legal picture, supporters argue that what's happening to Mkhwanazi is nothing more than a witch hunt, one designed to punish a man who dared to speak truth to power. But who is Mkhwanazi really? To some, he's a grassroots hero, a voice for the voiceless in a system that often forgets the poor and marginalized. To others, he's a disruptor, a figure who refuses to play by the rules of the elite and challenges the comfortable status quo. Whatever your view, one thing is clear, his influence runs deep. And the thousands who turned up to march were not just marching for him. They were marching for the idea he represents, a South Africa that belongs to all, not just a few. Simphiwe Makhanya's report captures the scale and emotion of the moment. As the march made its way past key government buildings, chants of "We are with Mkhwanazi" echoed off concrete and steel. Some carried photos of Mkhwanazi held aloft like sacred icons, while others bore signs that read "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere" and "Hands off Mkhwanazi." There were tears. There was laughter. There was music, poetry, and spontaneous speeches from street corners. And perhaps most importantly, there was unity. One marcher, an elderly woman named Gogo Ntambizodwa, shared her reason for attending. "I have seen this story before," she said with a firm voice. "During apartheid, they used to try and silence the brave ones. And now they are trying again. But they will not win. Mkhwanazi is not alone." Her words, echoed by many, carried the weight of history, a reminder that South Africa's long walk to freedom is not yet complete. Another striking moment came when a group of university students staged a dramatic performance at the entrance of a police station, reenacting scenes of political suppression and shouting quotes from struggle icons. The message was clear: the youth are watching, and they refuse to be bystanders. While many expected the protest to turn tense, especially with a heavy police presence, the mood remained largely peaceful. There were moments of friction, a few arrests, some minor scuffles, but they were quickly de-escalated by marshals and civil society leaders who stressed discipline and focus. The objective wasn't chaos. It was visibility. And in that, the march succeeded spectacularly. Simphiwe Makhanya noted the symbolic route taken by the marchers, passing through historically significant landmarks such as Constitution Hill, the site of so many past battles for dignity and justice. It was as if the ghosts of South Africa's struggle heroes were walking alongside the people. The march ended with a mass gathering at Mary Fitzgerald Square, where leaders from various sectors addressed the crowd. Their message was resolute: the fight for Mkhwanazi is a fight for the soul of the nation. Among the speakers was Tobo Dlamini from the Civic Alliance Forum, who declared, "When the institutions meant to protect us turn against those who defend our communities, then we must rise. Mkhwanazi's story is our story. His battle is our battle. And we will not be moved." The crowd roared in approval, fists raised in defiance. Social media exploded with images and videos from the march, with many users expressing renewed hope in the power of the people. "This is what democracy looks like," one tweet read. Another simply said, "Mkhwanazi equals freedom." For a country often weighed down by corruption, inequality, and political fatigue, the march was a rare moment of pure collective spirit. But not everyone was cheering. Government spokespeople were quick to issue statements warning against mob justice and urging citizens to allow due process to unfold. However, for many of the marchers, faith in those processes has long eroded. "We've waited for the courts," one organizer said. "We've waited for commissions. We've waited for change. Waiting is no longer an option." Simphiwe Makhanya's reporting captures a civil society that is not only angry but awake, a society that is finding its voice again after years of disillusionment. What the March for Mkhwanazi represents may go far beyond one man's case. It could mark the beginning of a broader reawakening, a tipping point in South Africa's democratic journey. Thanks for watching. If you felt this story, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to see the power of the people, and don't forget to subscribe for more bold reporting and fearless truth-telling. Until next time, stay sharp, stay loud, and stay woke.